This is Shiv Prakash, and I am here with the Flamingo's third lesson, Deep Water. It is written by William Douglas, and this story has an inspirational moral that how can you overcome of your fear. So he tells here how he overcame the fear of deep water. It is an autobiographical account in which he expressed his own feelings, that how he was fear stricken, and after that how he maintained it and how he came out of it. So the story starts that when he was almost 10 or 11-year-old, he decided to learn swimming at YMCA pool in Yakima. It was very safe place to learn swimming as it has two ends. One end was shallow and one end was deep. For new learner, the shallow end was better. So he thought that he would learn swimming in that shallow water. The fear of deep water was not new for him, as he was almost 3 or 4 years old when he went with his father to California beach, where he was buried under the waves, and he was very much suffocated there and was not able to even breathe. So that fear made home in his heart, and since then he had been in the fear of the deep water. So one day he was sitting at the side of the pool, and one almost 18-year-old boy came, and jokingly he lifted him and threw into the deep water. He was unaware of his novice swimming method, but he was not intended to do so. He just jokingly did it. The author started drowning, and he rapidly threw his legs and hands, but he was not able to come out of it. He became numb, his mind was becoming blank, and at that time even he thought that when he would reach at the bottom of the pool to the bottom tiles, he would give a pressure to the upward and he will come out of it. But he was such exhausted that he could not do so, and every effort he made was in vain. And after that he felt that it was a very pleasant moment, and a kind of peace surrounded him. He thought that it was his end and his death was sure, but at the next moment he became fainted, and when he got senses, he found himself at the bank of that pool. He was vomiting, and he was saved by the same boy who threw it in the pool. He was told you that he was not intended to do so, he just jokingly did it. So he also saved him. It was the time when his fear was more effective on his mind, and after that he was even fear stricken to the deep water. After the event, he somehow collected his mind, collected his courage, and thought that he would overcome from the fear of the deep water. So he hired an instructor, and in the guidance of the instructor, he started swimming. The instructor would tie a rope in his around his waist, and after that, through the pulley, the second end of the rope, he would surely hold in his hand. Through various means, and through his legs and his hands, he taught him to swim. After that, after the training was over, the author was not sure that he had totally came out of his fear. So he decided to swim to another water. So he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. There he jumped from the rocks and traveled through swimming many miles. And after that, he became sure that he would not worry about the deep water, and he finally overcame his fear of deep water. So students, this is an inspirational story, so you can learn a lot of it, that if you have any fear, then you can overcome from it if you have firm faith, patience and courage. The story, at the end of the story, he tells that the one thing you have to fear from it, and that is the fear itself, that you have to fear that you would not be fear stricken. So read the lesson and enjoy the story. Thank you, children.